Dumbe mo dumbeni. Hey. Me unam ni. Dumbe mo dumbeni. Oh.
Hey. All right.
Don't get bored alone, when there are existing channels that can keep you company anywhere, anytime. VitalGH Media is a mother company of all VitalGH channels. We have multiple platforms for free television. You can watch video on demand, rent or buy, or probably subscribe easily for more update. Visit our channels on Vimeo, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Apple TV, Amazon Roku TV, and many more, anywhere, everywhere, any day, anytime on your mobile phone, TV channels, Apple Store and Play Store. Don't be left out with existing movies and programs on our various channels. You can visit us on www.vitalghradio1.com.
Yo. Beninfo and Akwaba. Doctor Akwaba. Train Beninfo Wakano Wombeba. But any program me starting with some Ibia Ubidi Bre me just few minutes ago. May play no kakra Nafi Yahri.
The U.S. Attorney's Office is asking anyone who might have had their immigration paperwork lost in the mail to call them.
They say a former post office employee in Utah was intentionally destroying some of those documents within the mail. Fox 13's Adam Herbets joins us with a close look at the case. Adam, this is bizarre that people thought this mail was just mysteriously disappearing, and now we know the truth.
Yeah, Bob Kelly, prosecutors say a 77-year-old woman from West Jordan used her job at the post office for years to destroy people's mail. These are immigrants who were trying to stay here and work here legally, but in some cases, it cost them their job. 77-year-old Diana Molyneux did not answer the front door at her home in West Jordan, but according to federal documents, she is unemployed after losing her job at the U.S. Post Office and getting hit with criminal charges.
I pray for her. I really do.
Prosecutors have reached out to 181 potential victims who had their immigration paperwork destroyed, some in Utah, some in Nevada.
I personally think she knew what was in those envelopes.
These tracking numbers all went to the same spot and then just stopped.
They all went to the same spot, yes.
Eloisa Mendoza says she worked with about 60 victims in Elko, Nevada.
It's really difficult for me to really understand why she would do something like that. Issues, personal issues.
Mendoza says without a green card proving that the victims are legal residents entitled to work in the United States, some lost their jobs. Others had to pay more than $1,000 in fees.
I saw the emotion, the stress, the nightmare that these people went through. And sometimes I think, did she ever think of that?
The latest defense attorney representing the suspect has not returned our calls. According to a handwritten letter filed earlier this year, Molyneux asked for and was granted a new attorney, accusing federal defender Carlos Garcia of having a conflict of interest. Quote, English is attorney's second language. This mail is about his family members, friends, relatives, his people.
It brings up a lot of red flags. I do not know her, so I really cannot say is she racist or not.
Mendoza told us that even though most of the victims were Hispanic, she believes there are also immigrants who come from other countries like Russia and the Philippines. Right now, the suspect does not have a court date because of COVID-19. Live in Salt Lake City, Adam Herbets, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Yo. And then Misodro, but Misodro, what them on a canny so I ate him. Aha. Say, whom they near was whom are they? I mean, to Suna. They be me say now what them on I eat to me who and him. Yeah. And yeah, Obia, they say, or no dear, Bonnie in the person would be a age more post office. Na immigration will let us in the Fawa, no, or destroy no. When you know, which I say, you look at crowd, then in the petrim, mean, who destroy not a day. Who destroy, who be mails are government that's sending us a young man, not what destroying. I can't say. With the dog.
Yo, what a black army, you original. I'm a tonka. I'm Bejina Quenya, much and Penfua, Abiton, Mr. Drew, and then the first time I'm a Huno, Nakasache. Nah, my mechanics, you're Nakasache, and I'm Sister Nancy. Yachia, a chief force.
Oh, Nancy, the Ghana, go buy one who hear me. Oh, he should not hear now from me. From me once in a year.
Yadawa say, oh, my queen, said that we are Nina motive. If you say, I mean, a motive on the year, Messan say, won't me and destroy papers. And I said, oh, here, Nina see. Letters are now for immigration purpose. They say, Nipano or no one adwin bonibima or immigrants at Bacroma. And the intino to do quarter. Not so become a cry now, even who the band team and Timania, because you see, opinion be qua. Intino, I'm said, you actually.
Oh, I ever call. That will be a new because you be after this video, no, and only a major a year, you come was some we a year, and I ever can have some no. When it dear, you know, if you do be a home,
it is 7 o'clock.
Sylvester Ofori was very subdued and quiet while facing a judge this afternoon. He's accused of murdering his wife Barbara Tommy as she went to work at Navy Federal Credit Union on Tuesday morning. Prosecutors telling the judge today the killing was caught on video.
Video surveillance, which shows Mr. Ofori not only shoot his wife, but then stand over her body and put additional rounds into her head.
Ofori is pastor of this church, Floodgates of Heaven on Coburn Avenue in Orlando. No one answered the door here today, but on his Facebook page, Ofori calls himself a prophet.
He's got quite a social media following where he's, speaks to his followers and called himself a prophet and his followers.
After the shooting, police went to this apartment building on Raleigh Street where Ofori and Tommy had at one point lived together. Investigators say they brought the SWAT team and eventually found him in the home.
We had a good feeling that he was going to be in there. We don't believe there was any risk to the public or immediate danger to the public.
Police have not said what led up to the attack, but we are told Tommy and Ofori were getting a divorce. Court records also show that in 2016, Ofori was arrested for resisting an officer who responded to an argument between the two.
Someone committed a heinous act of violence towards a loved one, and there's unfortunately no excuse for that.
No one.
Okay. You be discussing, and say, and PMP, you can say, Obi and say, Obi, and me who said the main from 2 West. When they were here, friend saying, spouse abuse the name since it goes both ways. Because me who bear me be a, then the year the year no. So I say, a worse. And I mean who majority of them knows a mema and a year na yes, I be so bema be or her. Me who Ghana say no na okushi acid the goo or ban so be befa or that type of a normal. Yeah, na doc, where the overhead here because so part where you mano and a yen and Nancy so and so yeah. A dear ne ma obi eba obi trimu ono de odwen se me no wo gyae dia ese me kun ana se ese me chese me ye bibi to deform wo you know say the I say obi person be proud me say me you me who me person for sadi we say and if it say Thursday no metie audio videos about that papa we say your friend Sylvester Ofori and metie the church members no so ebi ade me ya wo mu pa ne se ene obi post to ade bi e wo Facebook na se de me ya wo mu na say this is not the time if set girl no cross why ye bibi enya the family is in mourning. This is not a time I'll be post to some stupid things there is no basic or any proof was happening. Say or person say or say any one of the chambers had an affair and they had a video and then they send the video to Osof one. And he be so the time and the brother ne buy no said video girl no aye bibis and that was the time na nka papa no e ba catch ni nuane say this is what this woman did. Name no went me and can be asa say Osof will be a catch and say woman ye before. Simple. That was the only thing okay. I deal with me kind no. Say need Osof will be a catch no. Now utie me to Osof no na fa de no. E kire ono no yebisa no Ghana no o say no asem o ka kire engofo no say after say ma me na wu e no so o ka kire Osof no say o feel say Osof ku na yire no wo mrekwan wawu awie no wo prophecy na wunya na eye ga prophecy na wu so ya won aboba won hihye that type of you know me na me hu asem ya na person me ka kire but enipa bi wo ha wo ka asem kire won they don't listen. Sank with young boys. I want them Kumasi. I want yeah, but here is way or so for way or so for way. Say na nipa discare command. Na fe won Jimmy e Ghana. Na ni na so no 90% of enkofo nyina e den e ma 90% Europa akwasoro dey just a man kwa na problems we are see. I'm sorry Nancy anything here but it's true. Opa kwasoro dem bia mu ubehu 90% of be wasoro dem ma wo problems we are chain nipa bia we are and am buy say and me kuno no petition na me busu afo say can't you use your own head? I mean, come on, use your own head. Me be ni sa no man. I've been telling people me I don't believe in be So mewu a me ni wu enyo bi na bekume na enye ade nyankopon no osuro me obetumi aka so fa asem no through you unu wa beg nyankopon asem me ko emi hu nyankopon ka kire me say ochena sei ne sei ade nyankopon osuro me ana ewuntimi nka kire me just obeka kire wo ni nyina so me o ka na me diska bia bro ene bompai ma me so for bi ka o so bi ochena onipa na wu awie na ansa na ehu ese mekayo enti doc e dey na wo ka about Saudi with
okay, somebody Mama Nancy to remember na Mama Nancy at the can you see ladies first. Because also Ubo my anything. Mama Nancy, Manonko.
Okay. And I thought that Obia taking rejection differently. Obi or baby no one playing and opposite upran and I think it's just the difference between said Obia taking bad news and as a rejection. Maybe I no suffer no who needs about try and I say Akuma de stand bibisa unless there's something really serious but normal worry and yes I think it's just a personal son and he cannot stand rejection. That's all that it is.
where the according to nipa bia the sema na nkrofo ka no wo de utie ono akasa nanumu asem a okan no a two things no kan that day na the brother ni ba fi o kan say kosofo bia no say the omi ne say na yire ni e before and a two or catch a say when blank say wanku maame no a no a fake pastor his own mouth so ne yire no so no I don't me person make us me blame no because the brother did everything say obema but ne yire no e catch ni brother say ma on prep police because e be prolong ade no so it how I can't about Saudi.
It's difficult for her to believe that. So I think worry 5 years or something like that. And it's hard to think that Obi on that much betting me kun. No I don't think she even considered say betting yes. But just like I'm saying, Obi how they take Obi ani bufu or person to say kind. Obi so ani bufu he just walk away. Obi so ani bufu he will lock himself up. But you can't really tell until it do so, and most of the time it's too late. And that's just what happened here.
But what is the say? Will be catch or say train now be huna so prepare. We are ready. Was train now be huna immediate lab. So what I say? They won't team make them say train and be huna match now. Yeah, woman kaya boy be if you gonna buy. No buy no what happened or kwakota there was store. We were store no. That boys be so American boys be or then the hook back when a boys don't say you for a boy no or catch a boy back and say on train or coffee aba because no one asked man or buy anyway did 2 weeks. Once man's own got the but officer in Ghana. It or try out the idea coy and with Tanya Ban or better boys no. Well, me and no power and the one shoot to Nikun. It can madam for Ubi catch us a train where they all say or come something will catch them say if I killed you, your sister no. Listen to this carefully. if I don't kill you now, me fake pastor. If I don't kill you, this is something very serious. But yeah, come on for police in the police in body at the end of man. Right there near better. You don't threaten somebody's life, say I'm gonna kill you. And at the end of so kind of so I'm pa oh yeah. Say rejection sometimes can say via rejection, nipa be taking rejection differently, and the nipa be so differently. So, but this one, I find it very difficult to digest. So I say that even when I was shooting once, you shot her about 7 times. Ujina so a boni 7 times.
Yo, Bapame, wait here.
Now we come on.
Bapame, wait here. Me bam kakra. Na I'm say me ne oni mi so dro ne mame Canada da ya tan udwumadi so ache kakra. Na me take vacation kakra. Masaba na I'm say the first time ba me so dro be kaya. Me can say whenever there's an issue like this now, we cannot solve problems in isolation. Esa na ehwe de si no pese no na si demo nemom da bi. Bi enam bi so ene ma wonu nyina ba. Didn't na make us ade si a tragedy. Nemom no. Number 1, there is a mental health issue here. Number 2, we are dealing with domestic violence. Number 3, we are dealing with culture. And then 4, so now come on, we are also dealing with what? Battered woman syndrome. So what you be there? O baby how kwawari mu a. O awo bontino fi say ye bu ne jisi no. And so wo be kan ku na sem kro abaka just say oh ja no nya hwe wo so woni no ho. Enye say bia it's a syndrome ya na de no be ma no kra kan bibia kire no a. Ama say wo ja me kokro bia nwaro na bibisa. And you know, we have all these issues and we have to put them all in front of what the issue is. Did this so I was seeing who said we have to merge science with religion and spirituality. So, also for Timmy Bodam, and I sorry, Basu Timmy Bodam. So, Nimum the Eban say, also for Bodam, dear, one I call also for yare. So, we have video now, knowing in our hair now, Brack Army. Bra Papa no bo, no, what them or didn't buy alcohol. Who also from Grana. Now, to say there was something wrong with him. There was something wrong with him. And I saw for no organ and now can I say no. My friend Adum TV. Or see no about Orlando Bay, me money ding. Them so here be. No about Orlando, or see not the banning, sir, Sylvester Ofori. Now, not somebody say, and maybe your bad, my man no catch rain or say, Beman bono. And my oka say, be careful, you might call your wife. Be careful, you might kill your wife. When Timian and Stim and young and Cafe say, baby, I do not be a hear more. Then Jamaica sign say, a do baby, not a soft for any impayable him more. Yes, see, your mom pie money is not only dear. Yet, young cat. And maybe Kumasi, a conformity, as MBS one said, Obi or no prayer camp, no, Brack Army, and then Penformache. Or no abedaho, friend who are there. Nanso na ni prayer camp no go go a take on temperature, take on blood pressure and you bibia na and mam hu so for so no etimi yare say asori ba na de ntama mekanya wonya say eduru ba bia na o see hu say papa no he was so depressed and the man is sitting na no I so depressed na depression no mama Nancy and I'm so drawing back. There are 2 symptoms of my depression is serious pa. Even divorce and now domestic violence, and you say you're too sorry, because I want to mean you're sorry. And a papa be so better TV so can say, Also for a year, I saw no yes can be a bejiko. Go for bejis also for no. Or no, we are so depressed. The depression on two things I see when say suicidal and homicidal ideation. Just saying, utimi depressed na person kun and answer kun obi. You have a sense of hopelessness and helplessness. So now also for also kind bra come one kind if I don't kill your sister, then I'm what? A fake pastor. A hono, not just say also for me what we call or your homicidal. So and the bisua said all can. Ebi ano is suicide go hope so kun ho so no ni akukuduro no de be kun ho. And America cry obi say suicide by cap. Obe provoke inu am ye kun because no antimi nye. So na say wo ko nipa na ko shoot obi 6 times say no. There was a chance and ke on cry nka pretty wo han ko shoot no kun. Ebi na sad nko pe no be say ge be che no. So enti na wo say ye fa wonu mu nyina into context ni hu say baby edru no. We have to pay attention to our mental health or so for a sorrow or see a mental health no ye jim ho adwuma ebi kura make say na reaction a divorce near was that so no monsa and I say drugs here be kura say so ye bi obi an kan ho hwe osofo bakun ya oba yi say ofre no a na onfa ofre nipa na onfa no unko fie ho nkohwe say de na ato no ana so we have papa now to say, oh, you're very, very, very depressed per my observation. Be na my win year. Now, why we share TV, maybe I was say,
I saw the same thing.
I just about depressed. Me saying now, Baba, immediately, no, I was talking about depression. Now, if I don't go to a Ibinian man of Prozac and I will be Sakra, and I want to be Uncle Wayma. Then so for there. But hey. Yeah, no, the man was very depressed. Whatever happened to make him depressed, no. Now was saying, "Oh, penny phone beach, no, then say no more samano, no manye." Number 2, Niniana can say, "Let's call the police." As a man and they kind of don't do that. It's not necessary. So and but that is the sign of the battered woman syndrome. Oh, the office here, Buno. Also, catch so micro yo, where the 110 or so called plus 1. A happy de bia bra kwame. So, it's not my men so here moi. I think I'm in if you cry, if you cry, more man on call, no, some call help mano. Or more domestic violence and rape crisis center. No more fan call, no, so you could teach you, no, parents, you could teach you. Now, see, I know, I did see, a best beam. But I teach you, no, yeah, so for the who said, and the make a church to a black woman. You were Methodist, you were your Presby, you were Anglican, you were Pentecost. Or when you see hospitals, I didn't know see hospital. As I said, someone was there, and young Pabon on Kwan with my salary. Yeah, he said, yeah, who honey do quago, yeah, trust and judge him, you do quago hospital, but I'm answer, no, salary. Or so for also, you also called me a Sunday. It's also forced to be a job on parliament. Just say, or so for to me about them, Sebio, and now, or no cost with him, but as you know, it was say, who was we are sort of back on who's also for no, or a year, and penny for no, oh, I saw more come who bomb no, so for him to know. Now, Papa no big enough TV snow say, or friend no, or ye say, and also for no good Gana say, who no catch and say, they are all responsible in a way, say. Or my intervening. But before they can do that, and then they have to accept, say, mental health, substance abuse, domestic violence can affect anybody. You don't have to be a priest or a congregant or betting me or be a bit man. I'm OP can so me sempre for or man be see no be so can be.
Where do you end say? Mami Canada. You are now, you call me Sir Udru. Mami Canada, who they say, okay. Say, Wahe, and SM so here. Okay. So, how do you be a tosono? Oh, here, now, all can also for na braba no bo. If you're a tosono, and also with me, I can cry, I mean, at ya.
Kakra me can say, in fact, my heart goes to Obana Busiafoni and Papa Winso. They just say domestic violence and Kasano. It can take many forms in terms of emotional, in terms of physical, and the keka just say amount obako enya power, imbalance of power. So na some actually niema onya kuna oya abuser no for example, okay, can say or preventing you from going to friends. You name it. Send a ube yisikafa or accuse you was our call or more names in the account. It's rather unfortunate because a girl in ya sa science nina ohunina maybe I will not be see like a doctor can bomb pie ye be say nuniade ohunina. Nyesi hu ohuni nyina na se ebetumi kra no a bra na kanimia ne ba mu no that was the your friend is saying the time esesinka free eho ayi nyina but still na or pre or ye bibi mani kunu so can say I may be wrong. I don't want the police. And yes, I'm okay. Okay, sir. Or say I don't want the police to come in right now and the papers, with all the abusive a year or show in still. Why? That is how I so okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Tiwonga, abuse you on. And I been or say, oh, okay, maybe on to to that level, or bet I been say you better to her. Battered woman syndrome, yeah, I can't want to me. Nay, dear Abbey. In fact, Senka bit to me, in terms of the doctor kind, your culture, your background of a Nima Bibre, say also for ye nipa. Also for ye nipa no also for so to me go through the normal go through. So we also for an just say maybe also at one point he was crying for help. So but now only and now of course say the biana would do no or baloa enye okay as senior wajidin and as why maybe he also was crying for help. Now yeah can say near maybe every year you'll be better to us on he say say dear ultra hoka say onyame besesa obi especially between our effort na ultra say be ye na say you was line resources when especially who be do krom ha say ya enema bebre wo wa wo betimi aye now so esanse ono no de okan ya wantimi anya yi ni nyina no ene se ene yakobo ni tuo nti media kakra meka ne se won a be ware sese na won ba no only pay attention. So when you are dating somebody na uhu adie bi a won ne ho enye na se want to me anka at that time na hope say or worry wo wi a enema no be change or worry wo wi a obetumi control. No, it's not. It's going to be the other way, the opposite way. And if you know you are dating and as you are in a year, only punish 1 year. And it's in penny for before I said over worry if you be moon on a coffee film, service abodam or her, a dear of your answer, no approve ama. Yes, so they say, and this one goes to the younger ones who are coming. Make sure you don't use only your heart, use your head also. And when you can in Nabuma, and now who bompa and crow on Yakupo Betty. Media minimum say from here no ombe make changes na me say tie ba ko bi girl na me de na yi beto so the okọ be friend no o ti mi fie ho if you ho nti obi interviewer no bi say na see if you know my seem say a big house no so first second floor o no obi say na see nta sa time na yire wo he o se na yire wo first floor and na also ni papa no wo o se ni first the second floor. and on any panel down floors. And oh, son, say, and you know, one movie who say, near on any year be I was so. Now, selfishness, I also knew where man for 2 years, and they say, Papa, I be hog, no, ma, some hormones or whatever, no, all of us, you know, what we are also, because also we near Papa near my baby. So, but want you me am what? Nti kakra meka for now no na obi nto aso.
No. Mami Tina mehu sɛ wo JM dozo mehu sɛ wo yɛkɔ so duro so so duro so wo de em sɛ ankram post to you so wo dwen ho sɛ because we no ade bia
Ejoso
asɛm wei no ɛda hɔ no ho hwɛ yɛnnua maa no anaa ɔbaa wo nua bɛrima wo ne nyinaa na mofiri maame baako yam anaa papa baako ɔdɔw na ɛmaa no adwene bi ne sɛ ebi a ɔmo awaresɛm nkɔ yie ne so nua bɛrima bɛhuru gyinam na ɔware egu a ɛkyɛ na ɔkɔbɔ ne sobɔ an nyɛ wo nka me kunu ɛkɔbɛsesa na ama megyaa no ɛnɛ ne maayɛ mmɔbɔ ɔbɛka kyerɛ wo nti sɛ ɛno nti na ama yɛ mmarima no sɛ wo nua baa ansɔpɔto sɛ na warefo a ɔte mu wobɛtwe no firi ho a na ɛsɛ ogyaa no ɔnsɛ kɔbɛ ɔma bɛrima no ɔma onua bɛrima no kwan na ɔfrɛ polisi ma polisi baeɛ a ade no ayɛ nhyehyɛeɛ a bɛrima no ayɛ dwe sɛ ɔbɛkum ɔbaa no wahu so ɔfrɛ polisi ma polisi baa mu a at least ɛbɛtake bɛsɛ 30 minutes ɛno bɛsɛ bi ɔbaa no life wahu kɛsɛ ade no ɛwɔ so ɛsɛ ɛsie ɛnso so ɛsiane sɛ ɔstɔp onua no na wama mfrɛ polisi ama no na nhyehyɛe no na ɛkɔ so a na ɛkɔɔ so na ɛkɔ wie saa wahu ɛti mesrɛ mo me nua maa no sɛ ma waresɛm nkɔ yie a na wo nua bɛrima huri gyina a gyina wo nua n'akyi na save wo life womemfa de wɔsɛ nyɛ desua ɛyɛ ade ɛsɛ asi ɛyɛ asɛm a ɛsɛ sɛ asie ɛna asie nti yɛne a yɛyɛ nkyirima no ɛne ɛsɛ ɛyɛ adusuadeɛ wahu sɛsɛ no aba no sɛ no yɛbɛka sɛ abusua no ammoa awura no but awura no ama kwan ma abusua mmoa no abusua no wotie kofi tv ɔyɛ onua baa kyɛ sɛ mpaebɔ a ɔmowura mu sɛ onua no bɛfira wɔre no ɔmo bɔ ho mpaeɛ bɔɛ na wɔre no guyɛ no so wɔre aba no sɛ ade ɛkɔ divorce deɛ yɛde nyame ase na ɔmo so ɔmo awie nso ɔmo nwie yo so ho yɛde no yɛde a papa no ɔbɔ ne tim pɔ so ɔbɛkuma awura no wahu wɔbɔ ne tim pɔ so ɔbɛkuma awura no eti bere a ade no nyinaa no ɛkɔɔyɛ ɔne onua bɛrima na aba na wo bɛrima wagye sɛ ɔbɛkum awura no onua bɛrima ni come on na bɛrima nso ho ɔde na ɔso ɔbaa no mu ɔso ɔbɛrima no mu ɔka ne ti wura no mɔtɔ no bo tie kom sɛ no onua ɔbaa no ɔpa sɛ brɛgyae ɔntumi nyɛ hwee ɔka kyerɛ wɔ sɛ frɛ polisi bra ɔso brɛgyae ɔntumi nyɛ hwee ɔntumi ansɛ sɛ wakum wɔ ɔntumi yɛ biribi nti deɛ mɛka no sɛ mesrɛ mo me nua maa no tuma waresɛ mu no sɛ yɛ mmarima no yɛka mo akyi ɛsɔpɔto ɛboa sɛ yɛbɛprotect mo awareɛ anaa mo awareɛ gyae a mommɛka no yɛnyɛ na mmom ɛyɛ sɛ mɛmo awareɛ aguo na bɛgyina so ka sɛ ai me brada gu ma awareɛ awerɛho ɛyɛ
so but menka mu mmra memma kakra battered women syndrome ayi ayɛ keka most of the times no ɛyɛ na wɔn mpɛ sɛ yɛfrɛ no sɛ obi bɛte saa nsɛm no So one ankasa mu no to say o kasi yen kan nanka awari se mu no ye ni nua yi be kae nanka so what did them can I say because ono ba na kasa na onya ho no yes na probably ohun sense ni nyina but now she was in denial say probably on person will accept the ohun or bearman who or you know onu say enye but ono no the thinking or she was in a denial nti no ka ho hwi anye ya na fe so hwe baby ana ne kunu no ne brother no e ka say corner yi na o feel guilty nke dey no ka che ne say oh the immigration papers o feel guilty see if say a free police in my police in ba
aso who can see say be me person ye no area ya me kwan te say won kun no wa kun no wa
ana
ni so ko me kwan mo ni be ma ni so me pato mo ni ye tia so ye ken ka se wo yo ho se wo be kun ho a wo wa wo se wo be kun ho wo ko sha konfo so I've never working something. Tell my baby, I'm going to make a man. I shall make Obi Dilos 1 second was say who. How I need you a spirit. It's because she spirit no can pet. I've learned to me see that. It is like I do with police at this.
Mami makakra bi a yeka why this you new Mr. Bray who that you yeah adesua bi a yesua e wa ha na me cho say girl they were smart no
the make and say Obano so okay yeah ma won ye ready craft or kono then can say she's going to come back and pick up the papers. I'm going to say you are not coming back here again. You are not coming back.
Yes.
So
yes.
Mommy, the other woman you are not coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sir, yeah, doctor can say battered syndrome no. Like she wants I say or person or circle back to Obama no. Because no healing anymore. Because Niniana was protecting you, but you were pleading on the man's behalf. Say, oh please don't do it. Come on, Niniana bro. Wouldn't it? Would be up one bofie. Na ukochoku. Nianim. Obama be any obedient house out. And I get a Niniana on penasum. You who said, "I'm not no no." Yeah, baby oh. Bibi oh ipacho ubia nipa e woso no edoso tina mehu se wo krem zo wo won woso a mo ayi ni hu nyina na pamcho ye be ma mo chance ama obia aka ne yi yesre mo anti obia nto ne boase e be putu obia kakra mpeze e be doso wo ayi ne so sa enti mu de wo my time ye be obia pese ye yi a me putu on why yesre mo yes the Mr. Pastor was so and spices also and they were about her name. Like I said, yeah, you get it. What do you do, Mike?
Spicy, meanwhile,
hey, spicy, yeah, oh, you were muting it. I don't say, guy, in ready, Robertum, idea, I can't want someone. Hey, battered women syndrome, and them say, you feel say, my meno. Said we could see Paba, you know. So we hear video ni bidia any unim de ka ho asem from the beginning no all the way to the end no. Any ye ka ho asem. And na enkrofo bebre akasa about that we say akasa about software no akasa about from Ghana baby our call yes was your those things you know and Kofi TV so tie ya na woman be say na busuani kasata no also ne abrofo bi ba actually your sign about Miss Boko ni nua ba also sanko kuru bi so akwa so I think I'm in my area, oh baby. So, and you know, Pastor, okay, yeah, will be the drop. You know, Pastor, so we can be as of what.
Ayo, let me say, yeah, can't be brave or assemi who yeah, can't also for it here, and I can't let me say, my men so dear. Maybe I can't also for it dear no. Na adeɛ baako a ɛmɛ sɛ ɛyɛ na mmerɛ pii no amanfoɔ ɛyɛ mistake wɔ ho ne sɛ ɔsɔfoɔ biara nso ɛyɛ nipa nti ɔsɔfoɔ biara nso ɛyɛ the same mistakes and sometimes even more ɛyɛ ɛkɔ so wɔ wiase no na adeɛ baako ne sɛ there's a very big difference between nipa suban and the character and afei charisma so ɛwɔ nipa mu. Yeah, sometimes you know, yeah, mixing you know, say nipa ni timi preachy, nipa ni timi ye in century, nipa ni timi yenima bebre to say pejan insta na say niema esi no hunu. Yeah, na yeah mixing no say any I say nipa ni suban so okay. But Bible mu me say Galatians chapter 5 no can making it very simple. Say the fruit of the spirit is as follows. Nana estate Galatians 5:22. Say a kindness, a self-control, a temperance, a meekness. Sa abana nipa beso ewo ni muno. And then very important. And then the determining factor of nipa level of maturity. Na se obi friend who Christo ni sa na sa ni me nyina entimi empie emfiri ni mu. Oni self-control. Nibufu a ade obeye no a na obeye sa ni many nyina ni ho no ma na je se nipa no onye mature. You have not reached the stage of maturity. Edua we ye feature no nda na ye pese ehu se edua na ye mature ye hwe se edua na atimi aso aba sa aba ni ho no ma na je se edua no is still not mature. And most of the times no na ye fa say oh so for no or friend who so or ye man of God and na prophet and na say or ye say nti no ye century nti na je say oh wapem and I say wadru achiri and I say character no so no so you're in sync with nipa no charisma no but me say as me see any tre say sa ni mienu yi very different also for bit me aka say me sorry ekun na achiri no so what me follow through asan abekun it shows say foundation ni nyina enye papa. Bible so aka say we shall know them by their fruits, and yet by miracles, and yet by sorry size, and yet by by their fruit, the fruit of the spirit, a determining factor for the maturity level of any person. And also for the is that side. Bible so aka say the wages, and the consequences of evil or sin, no, is death. I'm not saying say yenkunu, but the point I'm making is say bibia nipa be bia no your consequences wo ho the dua o try no and say the why no obeso ho I mean obetua e kai da ho na no na em say obetua and then I say he has to be responsible for everything that we're committing no. I think say we should just allow things the law to play its role. The surprising thing about the woman is what we have also mentioned about the battered friends, the women's protective strategies. As most of the times, you know, who say baby or how you do funo, yeah, bono, yeah, BBA, so that's why very protective of Berman for very, very strange reasons. Reasons are most of the times, no, yeah, NTRC. Sometimes, you know, some of them. I don't know. They are stuck to the person, like in a way. Say, onya, etin who free nipan who there's a whole lot of things that go on in the mind of the person. Say, yeah, it will not be well with me, ANC, and I say, nipa no be abusing me even the more, and I say, be free nipa no. I mean, so many things. I don't, and sometimes it's difficult to go into the minds of some of the women to know what is going on, because repetitively, no, you say na nebra penino eka say, don't take these matters lightly.
Yes,
make sure say yen free police. And one said, Mammy said, no, don't do that. It is what you are doing is it's not necessary. For so many things, I hear very clear. Say this was an abused woman. Apart from the fact, the one fact as Papa no tries about abuse, right in front of people. It's sometimes they are very difficult. One thing that I always tell people during counseling, they say, if you are abused, get help. I mean, mentina awaria who say Christo mu de divorce nim and say ebia nye say ntina ot ho no ye difu mu manyina apeja your anu nyina apai na still utimu. No, when you are being abused in any relationship and not say na warie mu no, you need to speak up, you need to get help. You will get it, and there are people out there who can support and help you all around us. But say a similar ones see in another home. No, I think say we must stop it, and it's. I mean, Obia, everybody is sad about this situation. I think say our attitudes need to really change as far as this is concerned. Say bibisa eba oyabra moi. We should know how to get out and to get help. Out and to get help.
When the mammy, father crabbing candy, Pastor Kane, as more kind on no cremuan or can no cremuan. And I'm never so say that is why Unsana Sekra True book be say addiction and recovery, what everyone should know. And I didn't write it for the so-called addicts, but for millions of people who want to know about addiction. Because they do baby, not bystanders and not family members and not loved ones. No, because at that point in time, the battered woman is so helpless because or dealing with so many symptoms: depression, self-esteem is low, or anxiety, or BBI. At that point, and I can think immediately, Sakura said, I don't want to blame him or anything, but we are using it as a teaching moment. I was saying, hey, I'm not afraid police. This time, I call police for no bar. That's a woman, and also, press charges. Police for no other press charges amount. This time, when there's a domestic violence complainer, police for no train my own can say, Omunya facts, no say, you have been abused. They will immediately press charges for you. And then number two, they will take the person to a domestic violence and rape crisis center. Baby, your bedroom, yet na call or no more counselors on the you tell me say, family members, loved ones, names, there was some responsibility. The same thing also for no, your as of penny or your elders for her. Who say also for no, let's almost intervene. This time, no, them say, I was say, you say, and your ban and our papa no quan no responsibility on help home. No more, what family members, loved ones, even the community, whom be no. You have to kind of step in and help because at that point in time, no, both of them are helpless. One is dealing with anxiety or depression, sense of hopelessness, helplessness. Because they be somebody has to step in and help. That is where the prophets are to come in. And the empire say, when you teaching experience for ourselves, say, no, sometimes we have to what? Intervene for them on their behalf. They have something we call involuntary commitment. When I say, also for no not to be an you plead with the magistrate, say, you think this person is at imminence of risk of danger to himself and others. And that's what it is. I mean, say you have magistrate or fancy then he's at imminence of risk of danger to others. Please for my friends, psychiatric hospital. It's called involuntary commitment. because on Nanoka so we kunipa. Now quite man has to Bible so what we back say and power kind and no. It you know they say they addition they no say we should learn that we also have some responsibility.
A role to play.
A role to play. Thank you.
Quick, Dr. Boateng can be about as of for any problem, and it's of for hey. Where do you, as of for any problem, who do they go to? Because meaning say, sorry, many problem, omoko catch yourself, and he said, so for a problem, where do they go?
As of for problems, as of for also have they are way ahead of them. So for they have learned from other people. And there should be no situation even among feel some was rokrano. Now to say the doctor can around them. Me are supported and help in a situation like this. From the stories we heard, they say Papa no were becoming a little different. Papa suffer no abra bomu. That we are no or dear was sorry them. Into things were changing. Or lose congregation members because no more feel say the way things were going. No, Obaka said something was going on, saying certain things that are contrary even to the Bible. And it should catch the attention of people, other pastors in the system, who can also speak up. One thing I may say a lot in the church, is missing. And people are failing to speak up. People are failing to talk, and people are just assuming say once or your software he should be able to do much for himself. But like Doctor is saying, we all need somebody. We all need each other to make it. And see, even among the clergy, mature, some we are specialized in certain areas of ministry. But what I'm seeing in this situation is still the culture of silence. I may say affecting the entire system, both on the side of software, because people saw things taking place. And I'm sure nobody stepped in because of your software and and so life so things were happening and people should have stood in for her exactly in the situation that they said Papa no car said food. We need to call the police, but within that video, I don't know what happened afterwards, but within that video, or now woman said, oh, there be. And I never saw him actually going ahead to call. So, what I expected, they said, okay, I said, no, I don't. It doesn't matter what you say now. You are in trouble, and I need to get the police so that you can be out of this danger at least for now. But it never happened. Until I think the system to say we assume people would miraculously be okay if we don't speak. No, and they say no. Nice, it's me departed from where Niamasa is here. I mean, people have come ahead of people. We should be able to help people who are going through issues. The pastor and Obai all inclusive.
Yo, then spicy.
Hello.
So,
hi.
It's been a while. When you tell when you know, oh, my film when you now, rough. Oh, Mufancheme, it's been a while. Wait a minute, who said we are far?
Okay.
It's been a while. Wait a minute, to me, who said we almost mommy, short. It's rather unfortunate. It's really, I saw the video. Maybe I just something in now.
Yes.
Okay. It's rather unfortunate.
Yeah.
I saw the video.
Yes.
It's really sad. It's really sad. And from what I got to know, so say senior pastor Ekano, lady no brother no warning no say the time the pastor threatened no or wanted the someone for police, but you can see so bano and for threat no serious. Because the rate at which the brother no wanted to say for police now are threatening the life no of serious and can right there and then they could have reported him. But who to me so Bano was still in the denial to the extent said they wanted to go crano or see or person or stay now consistent in maybe. Well, this is a very big lesson to all of us. We are talking about your life and you're talking about things that you have and you want to gather them. Sometimes we go into these marriages and we feel say we have devoted our time and efforts and everything into it. Ain't it say yeah, we going through the abuse in the crown now we don't want to leave. Well, because we feel say what just said yeah, what is too much, but we forget say whatever you have put in, it's not compared to your life. Well, your life is way precious than those things. And now, what is your value if you don't have life? But with life, no, you can get everything. And see, those going through abusive relationship, Nadia, is there. They still in denial. They really don't get it. Me, I'm talking from the woman's perspective. Woman pastor for dear now, and we can go on and on and on and on and on. And as we talk, no, it's going on in Ghana. A lot of pastors are abusing their wives and all that. Well, the congregations know that, and a whole lot is going on. So it's up to us to use our common sense now. Nyami and Fisromba and the country will say whatever this person is doing is wrong. You should know. And see, we have to educate ourselves more and then abuse. If the man is able to slap you, you know, say that man, the same man will be able to put you down someday. And see where me mama casa and yet tinting, but this is a little I can say about the whole thing. It's rather unfortunate. And I'll be so can say me who was it Facebook says send a pastor no crano no Ghana into girl no any buy Barbara no never find no buy. And he's in process of getting his your friend is saying citizenship. Cry or ya manoma pastor and citizenship. And tragedy by wow, these are some of the things that is going on. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. But thank you.
That's you, Mammy Spicy. Drew some person be who and Oba no ka. Pacho to can why. So kasa.
Pacho what say?
Mammy Tina. Pacho Mike no. Why? About me put to know or no so. Pacho didn't I'm say yeah bandwidth no I very slow no. It's because of the number of people now it was no. They take you be back. Pacho Tina ubetumi akasa why? Mute unmute your mic, you know, na kasa. It's a me unmute.
Pacho,
okay.
Pacho, okay.
Now, ubetumi akasa why?
Pacho, ubetumi akasa kra.
Yeah, to kasa pa.
This is real. Be on a patient. Well, this situation it's really situation. I better garage, Mister. I'm sorry, maybe I made you maybe.
Okay.
Okay. The situation is unfortunate and you're paying for akasepi say maybe I find some or as a clinical social worker, but this has become a lesson for a lot of leadership. Yeah, so paying for any I think say my opinion more into assuring paying for your family members in the support because a lot of times say situations like this as a young person no can report to her if you cry saying abuse cry some type of other behavior yes and pieball that you'll be die with the so now sorry now leadership crampons who cry the shame to be able to leave your marriage any and our culture our culture don't help we are hoping now, no, especially the church, no, you know, they will have some discussions with leadership, says because and yeah, all the time never same because saying physical abuse, grandpa, there's a lot of mental abuse. There's no time for me to use myself as a, you know, as an example, but I was married at age 22 and I've been married twice, and it wasn't physical abuse but mental abuse. What kind of say bio jai that training and the be my be jai or the be no ebe on kwon dia. They say so many things, they say, and you me na free mommy be janka and come now ho de we. I have so many pictures. I still have PTSD, and I mean, it's so genuine. And I'm not even talking about military PTSD. I'm talking about PTSD. Me share picture. Me to me, I say this time I was going mentally crazy. Me to me, from about 1 week or my what's in that park, right? Because so catch you bushing for I see then train and that you be jai and that you say and that now sorry now after the sorry I need sure say be a now what do I get? And them say na so 10 years, Miss Uncle worry beam. No, so what's uncle? I said doctor kind of then you find the same type of person and also mental abuse. And my sister, Nyamin call ya people are so no see jai na when jai obeku. And no say crime in jai, you're sending the money to find a different state. Now, body ya me, sana. Miss Afria, I worry. So, I think, say, I sorry, no, yana, then shame if there are such reports now, then bumpy so much, no, pie, me say, do time be, not pie, but and the neighbors, Mrs. Tabi and Crana, me say, pie, best son, met me a bumper corner. But guess why? The person never changed, or say me near me peace, say. So, I'm standing walk so what do you do? So, you know, mental illness now, say, I'm not saying I have a lot of physical damage, emotional damage. So what I say, oh, you because about the I'm so worried him. To say me boom for Bema say me ninja Bema who I don't even know what I'm doing right now with my life, right? Even for my older kids, class say they don't want any African guy in this house. Unless say example or no, but my daddy didn't treat you right. Unless financially, maybe the person is really high, the person is really this. Yeah, I mean bump I'm rules now. And it's not about me, but also I can say I've been some type of a victim. And we have to help. Family have to help. Sorry, have to help. We have to encourage counseling. Counseling is really great. It's not something to be ashamed of. You know, the background here counseling now. We have to support them, our teenagers, because even they see a lot too. And see, say, Nima say Baswa, we shouldn't just ignore the case or encourage church members to not to point fingers at the guy or the female. Say, yeah, area you say, and I say in the idea, but sometimes the people are covered up the rabi, no, the software year say, well, sorry, near the na. Omudi kuni pepi in different way, shapes of form, into the amewa can no.
Brother, me for ayi baako nso so. Okay. Asofo ne de na ye ka no. Me about 1 month or so ago, and your friend is saying, so okay, bibi na me trust me mofre bi na one ye young, won aware ye ka ho asem kakra wa ha no. Na ono so adafo message o de bre me ni say or person will just worry because of money abusive or yeah, physically and emotionally will go through a no catcher and so forth, right? And also for the catcher and say, okay, Obama counseling or me and you know, order for now in order say all money metra on fadia mono or the only separate for now. After do baby not get a cassie high. So wa call Obama ni ho bi mu a ni sofo ni say obekọ bonsam gem na your friend is saying Bible chira Bible she say awarejaye God hates divorce and you know o person call ahwan the aware ni tie bia no say oh yeah no say go back no ka pastor and say Una counseling, but no subano onyaye is the same old story. Until how long? And I'm in tremor, because say, or the idea be bombing. Na afi akoba say misumini I can't do this. Until already we bold enough, no sister ni yamakakra and a poor so or ni ma minimum ho say e be a new. Until no say also for ne catch and say God hates divorce. And you know, me mama counseling, some mutiti dear, now to say what a not or quite upon series of way the ending in the same old story. That's also for say on call a year. I heard you may my being here until be a pastor. Oh, on obeti me kakra aka to a banisana as also for a dear now.
Yeah, until I'm a kind of media say when I counsel my people, any bulletin, and you are right. A lot of the messages are about through counseling for couples. No say you cannot divorce, and now who divorce and yet the right thing. But I incorporate within, and I hope other pastors will also take it, that where there is physical or mental, emotional abuse, step out and get help. And it's very important because there's a very thin line, especially between mental abuse and physical abuse. You know, obi wo hono ma say or ma punch or na or ma blow, but making sure say or maintain a certain level of oppression over you. Ma we feel say me free adie mu kra po a one here me and I'll be the loser. Most of the time, no, the batterer in relationships are now almost in men or more yes or no. The attempt is to maintain power and control over their victims. And it manifests in many ways. One of the ways, any the teen sometimes it's yes or bro and I say physically, but sometimes mentally, and such as there's also this other side of Papa and such as threats to kill the victim if she leaves or attempts to make other changes in the relationship. And for so many reasons, I can't mention all of them. Maybe Dr. Bet but there are so many reasons. Or bad. No, sometimes they feel say, oh, for some reason we have to be there. But no, even if a pastor is telling you that, make sure say you make sure say you assess it yourself. Say no, this is dangerous and I'm out and I'm stepping out. And I encourage people to do that, because women you're losing in life, once life is lost. And I think say brother so once you are dead, I mean, what else can you do? We should tread this line very cautiously. Even as a pastor, I think we should know that sometimes we are not in the relationships of people, and we sometimes don't know what they are going through. And the best is to help them. Say in a situation like that, they have to be very objective. You are by the thing. Now, say and as is dangerous. No, I mean you need to get help and step out of it before it kills you. And I think that I do it, and I'm suggesting that other pastors will also do that. But because this old that's divorce is not in the book. I mean God's books, etc. Until the whatever is happening, no, it's killing people. And it's making sure that a lot of marriages are not going the direction that they should go, because we tolerate it and we allow those kind of things to continue. And I don't think it's right. And pastors everywhere should make sure that in this era, and with this as a teaching, a lesson for all of us, and we should know how I be to your congregation and as members for all these things as well.
What the pastor say me boy baso ya me tio preaching new teachings, I call it teachings because you teach on the radio, and I think most pastors should emulate what you do. So see the mameti na be kind them penfo nyina aka no. Say I'm still gonna say what I've been saying from the first day I came on the show when Mama Spicy was on, that we cannot solve problems in isolation. They say the engineer can just say, Obia, you're responsible. The one papa no oku obi no so for no mo hono nka hono ne father no, any abusive phone, everybody could have stepped in to help. Mame, Tina can say there's something called PTSD. But say you used to winning in a teaching moment. What is PTSD? Which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Into you do what? You abuse no physical no. On your PTSD, what are the classic symptoms? What? Hypervigilance, what? Avoidance, what? Intrusive thoughts, what? Flashbacks. Because you're gonna know to do how no about what you say. Oh, what am I saying? No, no more. Na kwese makwa du krom na me sure na obi aba no say he. Na me hwan say yi, na me hwan. Oh. Say on be kan no, wo dey so do adwin fa say ma me yam say bibi wo, ma dey go bibrim sa. So and no bonin friends that hypervigilance. So, a no now do I know for one say that be my musabusa no say abrabom to say fear to saying and then I so open who will more information from them. Say a responsibility. Now I can counseling. They say I'm not going to be a hijack counselor. No say oh and you guys all go school counseling that be say oh yeah that to say oh yeah I mean the party wait my counseling that be but you can't say Basel for hospital Roman for hospital. Obia suddenly in your hospital, I just say, we are here. You go to hospital. Also for the just say we have to merge science and what religion and spirituality. It you know, the main where I'm coming from say until we merge this, no, we will come back and talk about this again because we are always focusing on what has happened and that's it. It goes away, but no. We need to use this as a teaching moment because there's so much to learn from this. I say we should be free mo. I say we should be free mo. I say we should be free mo. As you say, you know, be our responsibility in this case now. And yeah, Brakwame, you better sound baby. As I can the same thing. And you probably will because they say who want to be a TV or your counselor. Who does a counselor? Ben, only certificate. Yeah, and one also a counselor. On joining any counseling association, we name the difference between PTSD or difference between depression or anxiety, and that's also a counselor. Oh, not counselor, no counselor. I'm saying no. I'm the dream bonnie to go for team. Cancer and go for Sadi we cry. It means I mean because the pastor me boy baso. I respect you because me share that you. I respect you. Mitio pa na de bia no mitio a mitimu se oka some say nipa ntin se dia wo so mu chi no some say chona kan and they say so wajetum se no na fo no pass so no beka sai we dey sell many mama spice many mama Canada mama Nancy ni so do nye pa cho monko council pastors association meeting bi na boboni afa to manim se and omo asori ma no enya problem bi omo nko hu what a certified or a licensed counselor. We are not bumpire so said you'll be a hospital near man drew no abana doing the amount so on a bumpire doing the amount of bay. No one can say, oh, dear me bumpire mana who talk now so for no crowd we are now now we'll call hospital. So but what the Mr. said because you say openia or tina fear and coloring and canon service. You can't come before them. Okay.
Doctor. The other part I made best also kakra and say no call a sorry mahu. Say Mr. Like I said in the beginning, you can't be cry a man of God where they did kind a man or you nipa. We should be very cautious because sometimes there are a lot of ministers around that oko kan omenimu kakra pe obaka say touch not the Lord's anointed. Obaka just say but the Lord's anointed every child of God is the Lord's anointed, is a consecrated one of God. The touch not the Lord's anointed is not only for pastors. And see no such statement that sometimes it gives the permission from some pastors to act sometimes very wrongly, and they don't want to be questioned on that. To wait for congregation members and for every men say even what also for penya bra bumana say bibi where be out here no we check here no and please make up your mind say me ebusa questions, find out and talk and get people to be involved in the issues of the church as well, because sometimes these days let me say ama asofo binuma abeti say they are almost close to God. As I say, omuye bibi crap or enye anomu who pay face adienya nkrofo credit menka ho asem. And also it's leading us into a lot of trouble in our time. Into way so like Doctor is telling us today, the responsibility is on all of us. BRB should be responsible for what the things which are going on in now.
I'd like to come in a little bit. Maybe adding to what Pastor is saying. One thing I have noticed is to say, senior pastor as church members, I think majority ain't, especially Ghana for Ghanaians, ain't see Christianity now. They really don't understand. Because Wusha said, almost to me, a year sorry, ni pastors, ni the Christianity as a whole now. Sometimes they even go beyond the Bible. And I want to me who say Bible no canon. They deviated from it sometimes, and like Pastor said, they don't even realize that pastors are also men like us. They can sing, they can do whatever. Wow, they are just gifted. Nyamina edi bibi for mumudi aka asem. But it doesn't mean say omo ye superior na say omo di omo to me and commit a sin. When a pastor sin now, there's nothing wrong with it, or a human being. But I did not go yet to say a pastor ye bibi and not just say, hey, ain't he? When there is time for us to look into whatever and I say whoever pastor no is no ni reactions. Now yet to me caution when who say bibi no, we don't see it because we feel say or a man of God into ni say or no dear or ye bibisa. Well, forgetting say or no so ye nipa. Ain't see pastor or ye bibia, hey, or your pastor, and as a pastor, why should you be doing this? You are a pastor, you shouldn't be. A pastor is a human being, it's just like us. Ain't see so no ye bibia, it's not, there's no difference. Or no one the other say or gift kakra. And no. Apart from the gift, no one no cry. And some of them don't even have the gift. They just study the Bible and they preach. They love God. They have time. They've devoted their time to God. Because it's not every pastor that is gifted. And see, me, I feel say, as Christians, we call ourselves Christians, we should understand the word Christian. And Christianity now, we have to understand it and understand the Bible well. This way now, say obimpo wo life man na so obi wo wa sorry and also suffer be wo wa sorry na say who changes. To say tragedy here by I know say it didn't start today. Like a bibia I started, but people those who will notice, but majority will not because they don't think say a pastor should have a feeling. Baby. A pastor there needs a wunya feeling. A pastor there, apart from your wife, you don't have to have another feeling for another woman. They do. They seriously do, just like the way an ordinary man do. They are human beings. And so we should advise ourselves. We should educate ourselves when it comes to Christianity. You don't just take the title on yourself and say, so what is your religion? You don't just well, I'm a Christian. What is Christianity? What is it? What is expected of you and what is not expected of you? How should you lead your life? I think I'm here. We want make another kasa.
Okay. And Rose, any 3 days, Dr. I talk show be. Na me talk with any name. Na Dr. Bai, no a psychologist, unfortunately I forgot her name. It's through question and na me send it say me person me who say as a friend saying citizen and now family be who say or is suicidal. A dear now waiting me or answer or church name be. Na me say bisa na question is say na asofo no so I one problem no. And a dear no to me ye a mawon na say and I watching you bet me I ediabwa ya software na and okay say or no or I'm so US idea why so far and say or say obobo sorry be just say every year be an or sound sorry different sorry or echo mawon talk about suicide, depression, you name it. Into say when it comes to a church and this one a money invitation now. No, because one, especially Ghanaians, the culture any nneɛma bi abɛkata nneɛma wei so ɛmma ne onipa yi a ɛbɛboa no ne yɛma ne yɛn no onipa no awu nti we were talking and discussing about that issue here by ɔkyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma mu bebree a kyɛ sɛ as a ordinary ayi a wowɔ church ayi no you too you have a role to play because wowɔ ha wobɛbie w'ani wowɔ ha wobɛte nti nneɛma no bi na ɛkɔ no a wo so woyɛ member a wowɔ asɔredan just because say ɔyɛ ɔsɔfoɔ no nti no wontumi nka biribi ɔse approach ka ɔse papa yi bi a deɛ mahu ebi anyɛ saa ase ɔkeka nneɛma no bebree nam so in fact I really like the way yeah maame no wotimi ɛyɛ ɔsɛ sɔre no bi wɔ hɔ a ɔkɔ a ɔka no akyerɛ wɔn no de ɔse otimi yɛ nti ɔse when it comes to ɔse because ɔse asɔrefoɔ no Christians yeah na ye go through west when it comes to depression is suicide and this nneɛma na ɛkɔkɔ so no nyina just because sɛ ɛyɛ asɔre nti no your marks bi wɔ hɔ a yɛde ahyɛ yɛn anim agye wo go behind that ɛna wobɛhu deɛ ɛwɔ hɔ nti ebia ne yɛkan yi o media make kakra ne say it's a teachable moment for everybody including those young boys and girls who are coming. Listen, learn, do so many things, ask questions. No nipa na only dating or whatever na unyang ware no or threatening what is the guarantee so o ware ni wi a ubetimi control and I say or chira say or share so or kasitena ha watena ha and I see just say all the symptoms na any signs na niema awo no uhu ni nyina but o wa bien say the moment ya ware no or ware wi a niema will change. You are wasting your time and by the time I'll be realized unfortunately you be among those who na onga wu be nti kakra me kama younger ones na eba no they have to pay attention, they have to be open no ni sua niema bebre me da say
Yo, me pacho. I'm saying, I'm customer here coming Hello.
So room ba, you walk Rampacho, Garden, you and your time. They say, so room Pacho, about 1 minute. Why? And the time, make us and we are not people. It's a boating about Pastor Kokumafu, They so the Okrum here, spice in the introduce to Dr. Emani, Pastor Kokumafu, Emma. But since then, no, he has become like a friend. They do have a friend, no, so no friend. They do hope so be so a program dinner so what, and I'm so yeah, I'm a friend, na yakambo me. Now, they may kind of say, Doctor, Dr. Boating, actually could be so wokɔ yɛn WhatsApp a wobɛhu na ɛm sɛ ɔnlanche book no yet na ɛm sɛ ɔbɛlanche no wɔ ha nti no ɛna ɔde akyerɛ yɛn sɛ wohu a addiction and
recovery
nti no pastor yɛbɛlanche no wɔ ha ɛm sɛ ɛnɛ no the Beko KPN so any other platforms na me wono me post no nyina ho now any the ntia wote say I say any break kakra because any power so any power ba any DM gram nya me man chance say obeka because one no accord the other side ho no and better me pick one from her one wa na ya me pick one and the ama bandwidth me say nipa do so na ade no kakra. The problem with StreamYard no because you can pick up only 10 people and I'll bet me one bus. Other than Zoom no bet me 100 people at the same time. So with me I know the one but Zoom only a day from we be using Zoom no more. The MIM problem because we know one bandwidth na ain't that strong. But in so draw which make us
Well, my question, Simbisa. ɛna mebisa sɛ yɛ ne yɛse yɛ asɔfo anaasɛ yɛ pastors ne wɔn a ɛkeka ka ho wɔn yɛ nyame nipa na members nso yɛ nso yɛ deɛ
nyame favorite
nti Mr. Odro nti asama obusa no ekwan so ano nti na me ka say
nyame favorite
also for ebe ka tell say ono no ya anointed touch not the Lord's anointed ye nyinara obi o wa asoro ho is also a child of God just like he is, but at every time in our life just say the ekwa adwuma ye will be a or department ha or so any you know authority so no sorry no so you will leaders you will perform but every one of us is I mean once waji Yesu Christo Eddie after say okraji nkwano you are also a child of God just like the man of God is until biara ye mu biara bia waji atumu say Yesu me ye merade no also qualified nti just say organization bia no ya na ye obi orane obi oda no nti na okwa asori na obehu say osofo no so wo ho no nso ba say ye frɛ yen a ye nyina ebebo aten we rade
ana Mr. Odro ye nyame bonsam
I don't know.
What do you pacho? Mika kakra. Ayi me person me bisa say. Me person me bisa say. Papa wo kasa no e me say wo ka bibia. E ya na me person me bisa say. So asofo maame fo no so no. Oni ni ayi group bi a won a oni kwa I quite remember. Me ba ha say na me tie ayi TDJX whatever and preaching na ne yere no date or say every year be on was specific a year on ama on asofo man nyina eba ho na one emo counseling na church on na o kan de ba ku bi o si aya na ye refree si won so no ye nipa bibi ba na obi agina ho akase wo a wo ye sofo wo kun ye sofo maame forgetting say of maame so no or go through just because of maame so ntimi ko gina ba bi nka enti won ga ati bi a won ga no ne boabo ho in terms of woni kunu ma ye adwuma ne won so a won support won ne ade enti me pese me bisa say so ye was when be my ya suffer maami yana probably nke bi wo ho a e no feel or trust won a nka mi se obetimi akọ na ono na akọtra ase na on akasa even though I may be wrong you say bi wo ho ana ebi ni ho but the point I make can say won so won wo ko bi a niema say nye se wo betra ho ama niema do this awrehu mo anije mo whatever no there should be something. So if you uncle for counseling, no, because he was yes of mommy, until 1 hour to dinner on betting me.
But I believe that in cases like this, like abusive, sometimes it doesn't matter what or whoa, they don't come out.
Yeah,
feeling they're always it doesn't matter. Whatever you belong to, no, it's not going to help.
Because your Ghana community in your Pekasa, Oko can asem to be a betty.
Or Philista, you should open up to her or him or whatever. Who's wrong? Because what name it's an issue. Everybody is harboring whatever they have inside them. They don't want to come out.
That's the reason why we are suggesting that you tend to, as I call professional counselor, because professional counselor is working under what we call ethical code.
Exactly.
Which means they have to abide by the HIPAA rules. Every person has a right to what? Privacy.
Yes.
It's so what I'm saying now, Obama on the see ya. The sign release authorizing me to divulge information to you. So and can hang and tell me them that to pass the name on them
that's an American no sorry say that's why specifically in America say sorry Nina ties down to our sorry. Just because they don't want to believe. Say, yeah, professional counselor, no war. A Jumebia or EAP. So what I say, into why say, also for mammy, this say, Abia, and I say, young, also for mammy for just of course of mammy paying her, now your friend, like, or be on so trusted, but all professional counselor, and no, or be on before past and comparison is say, say. So I said that's what the church needs to establish instead of said they be no sorry paying her or for mommy paying her or no way paying for more. I drain no money, na I need na yen pie, but not a ban on a drew the pan or you're sad. So, but not pretending. So we home. And also no, I think so one issue said their friends okay, they come to therapy or come to people like us now. Maybe we might encourage separation, we might encourage divorce near identity. I don't know. Yeah, against. So but sometimes yes, because we are going to use the book, right? We will be clinical and yeah, but that's why we also went to school for. And with these issues going on, it's both mental, it's everything, spiritual and mental. So until say I certainly beg that say yes so inclusive say the guy leadership once in a while something like this will come. Yeah, she will be crying. Some of the therapeutic periods and then movies who has suffered pain for not abuse this sense no, and as a lifetime movies now it's real. So now check leadership now there maybe because so a few years ago I saw you in New York. I remember I saw anything all the more naka 2 weeks about the worry. So no akwa konyi mu bi papa no so ya sorry pay pa. So because we don't open doors for these people to seek help. And 2 weeks here be drew oba no say say man be worry no oba so pay for wa. Anka elder pay pa so bomb pa ya be finish. So na wakwa konyi mu bi ye can so also a virgin. I don't worry also for being sober. See, we have to open avenues for we have open avenues for some of this leadership for them to go outside and sort help, professional help.
Pastor,
all everything is God-related.
Yeah.
But how about the other ones? Me a Christian. So I say me a Christian, but that don't mean say I mean, that's what I have to say.
Question, no, Pastor. Yeah, bet me.
Now, we are supposed to do money. Now, but just as we any party, some may true, dear. Next is why you're true, we are true. What is one subject for Jesus Christ? And I want you, don't do and I won't share your country, young Faso. There could be another of your say, and be any party shower. Come on! I bet it's here.
Pastor, quick question.
Okay. Me can't do you normally be a cop, you're a cop or 3 year moon. Let me catch them all. You're some one on the other, your own dear for 3 year moon. For me, Bible will be able to the Bible, not just here. Come on, 2 points for the Bible, no, my country.
Man, Tina's in Casa.
Pastor. Move to me, I make say religion and science because it looks like me call our counseling that, but minimum for our I don't know exactly what they tell them, but at that talk, no, move to me introduce the science part of life and then the religious part of life because it looks like you have to mix the two to survive in this world. Untimin yet pure Christoni kekena now ose mention mask corona but so mention mask because it doesn't work that way.
I think so. I mean exactly so. I mean we have to say my friend Dr. Bertha yeah, I mean in the quite sorry back. Well, you're a medical doctor. But she makes sure say she's not mixing she's putting the two together in serving God, or making sure that her medical profession is brought to bear on as you must say yaria Na believe say ye den sato so a who beto but he first also believes say who here say I saw surgery I say oko. And science is important. Me background science. Me background me a friend saying geology. That's my background. It's on chemistry and also my background. Inti say if we are me name Crawford tenase kasa. I make sure say me incorporate it in my counseling, for instance, for our I make sure I put it before them. So when you're familiar with a process called electrophoresis, is the process that you be determine your cycling or so we AS and now so we AC and now so yes just a sickle cell and now so we full blown SS. I make it clear to them and I ask them say mako check it but sometimes at the end of the day Obano AS now Obemano so AS. Said there's still a 25% chance. So meet me abofra or yes sickle cell full sickle cell patient. At the end of the day, no, I don't decide for them, but I make sure that during the course of the council, I make it clear to them that these are some of the things that you face. I know, and your Holy Ghost, maybe you were free man. I say, I mean, just science.
Holy Ghost power.
And it's the fact of life. So there's because me boss, I mean, in here, Juma, for instance, or boss, I mean, Papa near ears, Mamma is here ears, but unfortunately, the first 3 children, you full blown SS. 2 while I was still working there. If we don't take some of these things seriously now, it can impact our life. So for me, that's what I'm saying, and I'm hoping that we'll get a revolution of pastors and I'll come up. I'm incorporate all because we live in this world, and we are not. We are supposed to make sure that. I mean, we impact the world with our lifestyle, and the near we are supposed to take note of the fact that we are not spirits, and as angels. It has to come to the point in our lives. Who say, if we don't marry or bring together science and other areas of life, like economics, be to bear in our Christian faith, then we are not living the way Christ expects us to live. If you are a very lazy person, for instance, I'm talking about in the area of economics. Now, you are going to fall out of a job. You are going to be poor, and those things have to be made clear to every child of God. So, and your faith. And yeah, Holy Ghost, and I say, oh sorry, and that's all kind Holy Ghost, and I say, no, but we have to make sure, like Nancy Okan say, we incorporate all these things because we live in this world and we are supposed to do it the way that Christ expects us to do. And me, for one, I make sure that I bring science into it, and it's very important. We can't say now, say, regardless of coronavirus, share mask that because by the power of the Holy Ghost and by fire. By fire, and all that kind of
fire, by fire,
by thunder, by fire. It doesn't make sense to me as a pastor, and I'm hoping that other believers and other pastors and everybody else in the church will take a cue from this. So I mean, we have a lot to learn in life about how we live our lives as a Christopher.
Me bibi kakra beka nia pastor eka ne ho. So sorry be now say like pastor said we suffer no so we pastor no is more into Holy Ghost fire ebia we yare no sit to all your way na fa sra ebeko so we e wo say wo hwe ne yie ananse wo pastor bi wo Ghana na wo ka wo problem a wo ni eduma instead of beka say resume ahi na watro with the young by a resume no fakọ hwehwe eduma na so beka say you fasting na fasika we bra na me boa na yenya fasting na wo benya eduma. These are the clues for you to know say you are not on the right path, because in this life now there are rules and regulations in life before we were born. There's something called the law of karma. We added God to it because God created everything. If you don't have a pastor that is educated, like pastor is saying, and civilized and know his left and right now say be unfortunately wukonya omo sebio anko ye was school ni side ni obeka hwe wa ni your Holy Ghost fire. Holy Ghost fire is all you will hear. Well, meanwhile, there are things that you would do when you don't have a job. You write the resume. What can you do? Go out there and search for a job. Don't sit home and be praying. When you go to Ghana right now, you see young guys who call Achimota Forest from morning to evening. And so when you come to America, you don't see them like that. They are out there looking for, even those that are not educated. They are working. They are working. There are so many Akata people, they are speaking English, they can't even write it. Yet they have a job. Well, and to say, I saw Tampo Nasa wouldn't himself over to me aton ewo Ghana me pacho ye aha promuha. When you walk by the streets, and especially summertime, you see these white folks, white kids, black kids, omuton ice water in a bottle water, omuton ewo ha. Into hawking, street hawking, no ground. Sometimes you see them even in United States of America. Wow, auntie, let's check all those things, especially the youth. When you are hearing to soap, to faskabra na mi yembo mpaye, ubenya way, when you keep hearing, oh, mema powder be, or mema oil, for oil, no yes say, not for yes say, then you should know, say, you are not on the right path. Because a good pastor would never direct you to that path. Or bema wako shijuma no, na wabua with him Bible. And when you say, now when you're sa favor, no, me the best ya me da mwase.
So na me ton host water no mondo.
Me ba joyento.
No holy water. Wait, $2. Be jaria. Oh, bibia.
And also no, I will also pray. Muma yina yembo mpaye say, the pastors no will also during counseling no, they will encourage the church members, especially more problems, to see a health counselors, like those that are the professionals, to advise them, to counsel them, because Omono they would know how to go about it. So I'm to me encourage you more, maybe with the health professionals like counselors now out there, no, maybe they will be able to open up to them. Well, as to opening up to a pastor and answer of mommy. Or say or can't trust of mommy. Maybe also for mommy were done for be was sorry on about catch no. And also catch pastor. Pastor be who what is going on. And answer in his relationship on person. But hey, yeah, or who professional. It is a work doctor. Meaning that say we better not maintain spicy. Well, we better not ha. Me no bon come we madam for benya. I know say there are so many things you cannot tell me, but knowing say what the doctor anymore, you will tell the doctor what you really want. Wouldn't tell benya who your friend is saying results. Ubenya who tree no article mun fanche me. Ubenya who boya na say help from them. And see, it's the same way I feel say with the counselors, no. If the pastors should encourage, say, we should go and see counselors, and I say, be omonim counselor bia, omobe trayenya, it will help. Be ana masem no. I'd rather tell a counselor than telling the pastor, because pastor no, I'm shy. That's all. I'm shy with the pastor, but I'll be okay with the counselor. Na yedim paibon so aka. And I think it will solve the same problem. Wow, I think that is a little suggestion I will ask out there. And I'm also a multi and so who counselor be try to go there and seek for the help there. Mami Canada.
Yeah. Ayi ba ko
thank you,
Mami. Sorry be wo Ghana. Me money di. Ade ba ko a mehu wo saa sorry ni say. Osofo no. O say young boys and girls na wa sorry no. Before I be ware no. Beba bedru nanum omam ko rane tests be ahoro including hepatitis B and sickle cells doctor kan wase my pastor kan wase mu ene de kekeka ka ho nyina enti eba national results ba na ebia hepatitis B ni ana bibi wo ho a on the straight away no aka kire wo ma choice osade we na wo ho me osofo so mintimi mmompa ye emma saade we enko ntine adien na opese wo ye sesei no ato amam no akyerkyere mu niam bebre the only timi sa no obe wo doctors yi no I refer on say bi a munko on na bi a check say no na say akoye test for na ehon na o ka say e bi a oba ne obema na bo ho na won go through na on hu so ba there's something wrong no ebe nya ese so nya medical intervention say be ya de kodo nya so on ware wi a oso hu o bi mu a obeti a no aware enti on ba wo ba no like okay sickle cells ne nkola ne ba abaye na papa hepatitis for the asana wo ba enti o ka kire stay nka sorry ni nyina no asofo no timi yesa ne ma wo ya ebetimi aboa and also hu say depression ho this is one ya asofo ni bon edi woni gu ne ma bisu so so bompaye bia should go back at or say ensa if sa papa ne ka asase mu ya tie na say wakase because there was a time name is me TDJs or whatever. Every year no or more doctors ba asoro and ma only year a man prostate cancer test PSA In fact, me who see papa na yesa no I was so surprised. Na me say sorry ya obati yes na so for ba ku ewu ehun ahun on ko check up. And one empire bonko again to the youth now mobile no you can't be brave. This is teachable moment for each and every one multi say science na mo si so ase oba na obema mo be ware no eniema we wo ho a say mo go through na mo discuss before mo de mo nya opportunities ni eba ye no ya nya bi ene be wura mu just like that. So now is your turn. Nti de e kan nyina se mo be fa na motu ho anamon a I think say be boa na nyame so ebe ma nema akoyi wo mo journey no. Thank you.
Yo,
Mama Nancy wakasa bi na yembesa asofo no so badwin say ya betra ha na se binum ye bo makina asofo bi wo so ache bo mabaso san say mi amadwuma me ye me say asofo no bi ebo modern pa any the so-called faith-based organizations who are on modern pa don't say every 19 minutes somebody dies from accidental drug overdose. Every 30 minutes there's a fatality because of drunk driving. The list goes on and on. But who said they say so many faith-based organizations are come up with almost helpful for inya ayarasa adwuma ayarasa. In this obedience say okwa soro kra no a ya hwe neighborhood no so bia almost faith-based organization bi wo ho a bomodian na fa ho ko na ko busa most of them no uko hu mu a they will direct you to a professional counselor. So you know say they can no say bia ni nyina na de bia no mo de omo no bi wo ho a bia soro no kra no omo faith-based organization mu a omo de say e me say soro bia no ko no friend Stevens committee or visa into drug abuse and now mental health. Now of course no and a better referral who counsel na bibi. Into no so who so who say yeah can you say bia na so for na say sorry no mo nye ho hwe da bi. Almost so many faith-based organizations for okwa ma kwante no ba church kwa no make referrals is so good. Na say crowd ba ku bua me hu crowd dey so for nkasa also when I saw back cancer, no to say na enya sam ketwa. Because and sunny drugs and they say enkoye man nto no a no be shemu a o kejiro me hu say no ncheche no ni nsam yake nyina say nipa no na sabanfo na tiefo no ombeti a omu say there's hope. And it can be said irrespective of how bad the past has been, there's always hope and a path to renewed health. Because you say nobody is immune or nobody should isolate him or herself out of this. I'm gonna say this the first thing I said on Spicy Show. We cannot solve problems in isolation. No. I'm going to say this every time I come on the show, that we cannot solve problems in isolation. Everybody is responsible for somebody, not only yourself, but also for somebody around you. Ain't I'm sure, man, you know, me see me book, I'm sure in there. Man, try my mom, at this near you come to know. What addiction is, mental health is, and you want to help, no? Because they say that you cannot do right if you do wrong mind. So who knew my dear, I better not to knock on one step. Into whether they are trauma, say, really. Now who says, oh, who was on will be crackasa? A quan say now fast on any casa. Because the book on Nanka say, yeah. A foot on the man on the old ye. Because Nanka say, ye. It's as so crown who knew my summer oka. Into Yanano, a year just educate ourselves and learn about things we don't know, be able to help or motivate someone. It's in a man, you are.
Time also.
Yo, share break for about 3 seconds. The baby and the hold on, will be uncle.
Don't get bored alone when there are existing channels that can keep you company anywhere, anytime. VitalGH Media is a mother company of all VitalGH channels. We have multiple platforms for free television. You can watch video on demand, rent or buy, or probably subscribe easily for more updates. Visit our channels on Vimeo, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Apple TV, Amazon Roku TV, and many more, anywhere, everywhere, any day, anytime on your mobile phone, TV channels, Apple Store and Play Store. Don't be left out with existing movies and programs on our various channels. You can visit us on www.vitalghradio1.com.
Really asamba. Let me say really a time no. I got 4 minutes now. The idea about next week no so no. I say asem and some the doors one ask yep let's say why ne down for who is your friend, because now maybe they will lead you to your grave. And I'm for no be so on crash and me anum. So more winning. Who I want to find down for. Yes, I down for now and make fun. Bibina or who have been in Jango. Them nipa de nipa who here. Sometimes you will be grinding akasa aka high. Say my wife or no or your pharmacist so be into no. So Obanas will come and Crawford in Raya a bell for HD. Videos of the because HDHD, I don't know what they call technical school, man, called by chemical school, chemistry, biochemistry. It may but then maybe because I think that boy in the class and he was in name hair, Mitio, and he has small kind of man. You would have so
no, Uche the pastor can last no or see team we name no time na ko school no na ade the question na nye horo na oko na technical school no na unuma de pa so na me tie na me ni lines na me tie the no o so mo men kasa o mo nkra unuma de pa
a technician, bro. That because he say Obada or car in in on fire. Who's the guy that you need that type of HDHD or whatever working on? There's some rule for certain things. No, the mood swing, all those things. Need perfect rule for BB. Groom her. Medication is not you push him up. Medication. Well, the medications my wife no ye e kakra. So me say next week, obi obenya time no. Nancy and spicy. We are lucky to do as much together. We took Jim to Wakoda. Oboti do Bagachro. The next week, you bet waso. Na komo. I mean, we know a idea boy because idea by go through similar things. Maybe a wood we see no. Waiting for more drink kakra. Na ono so dia bonebra. Na ade a me catch the ma go through all these things and say. And tna ho yemfa ba mo trim ansa waka say enough is enough. And kasi kokun obi o. Na emom no ti e bro nko ade a madam fo e be bi fa. You me ba na catch me o say oba me bi obeti ne nsa bo ba no. Onyo be ma. And you be sa me yire ba na ti he. See me brother penny yire no. Catch ro. Me ba bi e transia bo ba no. Onyo be ma. It won't put some minion na yeti and some boy yire da. And yet they say who be that India, they think na me Ubekasa wow. Na me boa. Pakasa the whole day. Wow. We did not go to baby. You can say we are. Na say wow baby here. This is me. But me sometimes me wow. My brother they on but unknown tesa. We are very quiet. So baby sabasi ya o nyesa ade no krada. Eti say ye di besi ha next week ya twaso.
Okay.
Mami o ti he ya mon kan bra.
Okay.
The bia no wada. We who know it's or call a friend maybe a fish one fish aquarium be go we take the photo no
Spicy so bakakra at least.
I know. Me now I feel bad. Next week, dear, minimum.
Enra na Maxwell yadam for back. Aya oko place he got tomatoes or turn in box. Now ye fridge na I am indeed and run my friend and come the tomatoes no the bread many onions boxes. I'm saying well more phone.
Oh, my father said my father. It's really after my friend.
Okay. Any Brakwame ADHD, your friend attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And I'm a catcher on. What here? ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Disorder be
Mama Canada, what brands are the eba? What bravo?
Okay, I'm out.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Okay. Have a good week.
Next week, doctor. Next week, I hear where so they are from in Casa.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to join. I mean, me try say me do I'm setting Okay, good night.
Good night.